Hi, welcome to video number 14. Today we'll be focusing on fixed cost and variable cost. I'm Ms. Yadira and we have Ms. Myra with us today. Okay, we'll start with practicing for translating expressions. So Myra, you want to start with the first two?
Sure. So A says,
click on the pen.
4 times the difference of a number and 6 equals 48. So since we have 4 times, we're going to have 4 times means multiply. The difference of a number, let's say that number is x, and 6, because it says difference, equals 48. Now for B, it says 14 less than 2/3 of a number equals 28. So it says 14 less, so then 2/3, so we have 2/3 here, of a number, let's say that number is x, equals 28.
Okay, and then our next example is 20 decreased by 4 times a number is 60. So we have 20 minus 4 times a number is 60. And then we have 12 times the sum of a number and 9 equals 264. So we have 12. And then since it's times the sum of a number, we want to open parentheses. And that would be x plus 9 equals 264. Okay, so moving on to our next problem. Tracy sells gourmet muffins. Her customers must pay a flat rate of $16 for shipping and then $1.35 for each muffin they ordered. So how much would an order for 14 muffin cost? So we already know that our fixed rate would be $16 because it doesn't change. And then our variable cost would be $1.35 because depending on the muffin that they order, we would have to multiply that with that price. So how much would an order for 14 muffin cost? So we have $1.35. Oh, let's click on this pen. So we have $1.35. So we want to order 14 muffins. So that would be times 14. And then that would be, see our calculator, $18.90. Okay, what about 260 muffins? If you were to order 260, so we have to multiply that by $1.35 times 260, and that would be 351, right? So now we're going to write an expression for how much an order of M muffins would cost. So we have 135, and then that would be M. That would be the number of muffins we will order. And then we have the fixed rate, which is $16. So that would be our expression. And then suppose the customer places an order and is charged $205. How many muffins did they order? So pretty much we have the 16 fixed rate plus $1.35 per muffin. And then that would be equals to 205. And then we can just solve. So if we solve this, we have -16 both sides. $1.35 equals, so 205 take away 16, we have 189. So now we divide 135 on both sides, and M would be 140 muffins. Here we go. Okay, so we'll move on to our next problem.
So more business. Now we're talking about movies. Megaflix is a website where movies can be downloaded. It costs $14, which is a fixed rate, to join, and 65 cents per movie, which is the variable cost. Give an example of how much it would cost to use this website. easy. So an example would be, let's say we ordered 10 movies.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the fixed cost, which is $14, plus each movie is 65 cents. And in this example, we're just going to say we ordered 10 movies. So when we do that,
So we put that in our calculator, that would be, so we have 10 and then 0.65, right? Plus 14, that would be 20.5. $20.50.
0.5?
Yep.
Okay. Now it says, write an expression for the cost of downloading N movies. So if we want to download N number of movies, we would do how many per movie, which is 65 cents per movie. We want N number. And we cannot forget the fixed cost, which is 14. Okay, that's your expression. Sorry, I made a mistake here. It's supposed to be 14.
Yeah.
Suppose the customer is charged $25.70. How many movies did they download? So we said that N is the number of movies, so let's continue, rewrite the expression. So we had 14 is the fixed rate, plus 65. We don't know the number of movies, so we're going to put N. And he was charged $25.70. So we just want to isolate N. Subtract 14 from both sides.
And if I put that in the calculator, that would be 11.70.
Divide by 65 to get rid of that. And we get N, just going to write it over here, is equal to 18. So the customer downloaded 18 movies if he was charged $25.70.
All right, great. So now we have journal time. So keep in mind your fixed rate, the variable rate. So for instance, here a local health club is sponsoring 5K race. Their marketing team expects a fixed cost of $1,500 to host the race, and then $8.50 for every runner. So $1,500 would be your fixed rate, and then your variable rate would be $8.50. So if you follow these steps, you should be okay.
Right,
Thank you.